What's up guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back for some more Amotekun. In the last video, we covered issue 1 of Amotekun where we meet Akoni, a sleeper agent working for an unnamed organization. He's living a seemingly normal life until he's suddenly activated. Then he carries out a brutal execution of his assigned targets, and only for us to discover in a shocking twist that the target is his lover's father. By the end of the issue, we see Akoni disappear into the Lagos night, moving through the streets as he calls for an extraction. Now, if you haven't watched the breakdown of the first issue yet, you can check the link in the description and come back to this video. But if you're already up to date with the story, today we'll be diving deep into issue 2 and 3 of the story. So guys, a quick favor before we start the read through. I'm currently pushing to reach my first 100 subscribers. So if you're enjoying this read through of African comics, please kindly consider subscribing to the channel and leaving a like on the video. It really helps out the channel a lot. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into today's story. Our story continues with a flashback to the Middle Ages within the Oyo Empire. A heavy rainstorm pours down over an ongoing battle where a group of soldiers is being overwhelmed by an enemy force. The tide of the battle turns instantly when two warriors wearing leopard-inspired masks and armor leap into the fray. They engage the enemy with brutal efficiency, decimating the opposing ranks. The enemy soldiers are visibly terrified, recognizing them by their name. It's the Amotekun. Following the slaughter, the warriors remove their masks to survey the aftermath of the battle, and we see that Akoni is one of these masked warriors. One of the warriors expresses disgust, referring to those they just fought as animals. Akoni's comrade then questions why they continue to serve humanity. Akoni reminds him that it is the will of the Orishas for them to be defenders of humanity. Despite a sense of foreboding that this sacred crusade will lead to more pain, Akoni concludes that they are honor bound by duty. The scene transitions to a heavily fortified Arcane base in Ondo State. Scientists and armed guards navigate a floor filled with containment units, and a group of supernatural super soldiers are being marched away. Two scientists are discussing the extreme security measures required for their assets, and they express fear over what might happen if one of these creatures were to break free of their mind control. Both men clearly don't feel safe around the creatures from this conversation. On the next page, we see Scarface again. This time, it is revealed that he is the director of this facility, and we are going to learn much more about him later. But for now, is now the director. Standing beside him is a tall and imposing Baltojin called Bolaji. According to the director, Bolaji remains hungry and aggressive, barely contained by the facility's handlers, yet he may be the only one the director trusts. The director orders the defrosting of an Amotekun. It is revealed to be Akoni, who has been held in stasis since his extraction at the end of issue 1. Upon waking up, Akoni is brought before the director and Bolaji. The director reveals that Bolaji has been working undercover within the supernatural community to track a group known as Fang. They are known as the first African nocturnal group. Bolaji has identified a new target, another Amotekun, operating as a so-called freedom fighter, though the director labels him a supernatural terrorist. The director then dismisses the scientist and everybody else, and he speaks privately with Bolaji. This conversation reveals a closer bond between them, one that feels almost like a father and son relationship. He tells Bolaji he is to join a mission with some superheroes the following day, and he must carry himself with respect and remember who he truly is while standing amongst them. Bolaji accepts the assignment. Later, Akoni undergoes a mental evaluation with the doctor. While he claims to feel nothing regarding his targets, the psychic resonance reveals his internal struggle. He admits to the doctor that the subservience drilled into him feels wrong and is caught between two worlds. He even confessed to having developed feelings for a member of the family of a past target while undercover. This was really his last target, and questioning how a monster like him could feel such things. He continues to be haunted by faint dreams of a great battle between other Amotekun and the Baltojins of the Arcane. Back in the streets of Victoria Island in Lagos, a man with glowing eyes and fangs is confronted by a group of thugs. This is Akoni's comrade from the flashback. After scaring them off, he is suddenly ambushed in an alleyway by none other than Akoni himself, and both men start to fight. The confrontation explodes out of the alley and into the streets. Akoni's comrade continues to defend himself, but has yet to realize he's fighting his old friend. They both display superhuman reflexes and strength, matching each other strike for strike. Eventually, the comrade gains the upper hand and manages to unmask Akoni. He is shocked and disarmed by this realization of who he's looking at. Before he can recover, he is struck down by Akoni, who does not recognize him. As his comrade lies in a pool of blood, something clicks inside Akoni. He is thrown into a repressed memory of the dying man before him, the two of them training together, sharing a drink, and finally a brief but pointed disagreement between them. Then Akoni's mind control is broken. The Arcane soldiers surrounding him notice the shift in his emotions immediately, and they have orders to take him out, but it's not going to go the way they planned because Akoni is now fully awake and ready. The story cuts back to the director, who is now briefing a room of military generals on what just happened with Akoni. The generals are visibly shaking. One even loses his stomach entirely. The revelation is dire. They have a killing machine on the loose who knows exactly what they are and what they have been doing with him. None of them are safe, and they know this. So the director advises them to lock down the area where Akoni was last seen and deploy their men. The director will also be sending his own personnel to help contain the situation, because the last thing anyone wants right now is more monsters on the streets. We're taken to space just outside of Earth's atmosphere, where a spacecraft is hovering in silence. We are introduced to a new group, beings who appear lion-like in appearance. They haven't been named by the author just yet, so for now, we simply call them the lion types. Their armor bears a lion head crest, much like the crest we've seen with the other groups throughout this story. It is revealed that they are searching for someone on Earth, though they are yet to find this person. From what we can tell, 3 individuals or generals appear to lead this group. Issue 2 ends with all 3 of them gazing down at Earth, and the one on the right says they will find him soon. Issue 3 opens with a memory of Akoni and his comrade training in their youth. It is revealed that this comrade and Akoni are both brothers, and his name is Desola, his little brother. The training session ends when Akoni catches Desola in a powerful toss, slamming him to the ground. As the dust settles, Akoni stands tall, reaching down to Desola to pull him to his feet. Desola notes that it's never a fair fight against Akoni. Akoni's response is seasoned with the reality of their world. No such thing as a fair fight in this life. Desola brushes it off with a smirk, calling him half-brother, which earns him a playful reprimand. The scene ends on a rare moment of pure warmth, the two of them locked in a hearty and laughing embrace. The piece of the memory is shattered as we swap back to the present. Akoni's face fills the frame with his features contorted in a mask pure of primal rage. His eyes glow with an eerie emerald light, and his teeth have sharpened into lethal fangs. With a guttural roar of "come on," the repressed warrior is fully unleashed. And what follows is a whirlwind of absolute carnage. Akoni moves like a blow of green lightning through the alleyway, tearing through the Arcane soldier who was sent to contain him. He is no longer the controlled asset they remember. He is a force of nature. He shreds through armor and bones, leaving a trail of broken bones in his wake, and we are treated to a display of onslaught against the soldiers from Arcane. As the dust of the skirmish settles, Akoni is confronted by a psychic apparition of Desola. The phantom chest cavity hollowed out by a grisly wound stares him down with the glowing green eyes. "You're not real," Akoni screams, but the spirit merely scoffs, reminding Akoni that he is the one who ended his life. Akoni desperately tries to claim it was an accident, swearing by Songo, but the spirit dismisses his denial as embarrassing. The apparition goods him, pointing to the pile of fresh corpses and claiming Akoni didn't kill for justice, but for his own love of blood and battle. When Akoni protests that he doesn't have all his memory and doesn't know how to be himself, the spirit cryptically responds, "Yes, you do." The narrative shifts back 6 years ago to a disagreement between Akoni and his brother. Desola warns that the director cannot be trusted, but Akoni defends his path, asking when he has ever led their people astray. The tension is palpable as Desola declares that Akoni's dedication to the cause is blinding him. Unable to reconcile their views, Desola says a final goodbye, walking away from his brother. Back in the present, Akoni stands alone on a rooftop overlooking the sprawling city, the apparition still looming over him. The spirit labels him an instrument of death, a reaper who is free to use use his power. Akoni rejects this dark fate, insisting that he must learn restraint and be better, but the spirit mocks his resolve, asking why he is standing on a roof wishing the fall would kill him if he truly intended to improve. Akoni's mind then drifts to a painful memory of his recent undercover job where he met Rainy, posing as a medic at a military base. He treated a combat dog to get close to her and her father. Despite the mission, he truly loved her, but the memory ends in tragedy. He admits with a crushing guilt as we see Rainy weeping over her dad's dead body while Akoni flees into the night. Still reflecting on himself, we see an image of Akoni sitting atop a literal mountain of corpses, so high he cannot count them. He reflects on the innocent he was ordered to get close to, only to ruin their lives in the harshest ways possible. Staring at his own blood-stained claw, he asks the final desperate question: how can he ever come back from all the bad he has done? Suddenly the vision shifts. Rainy appears before him on the rooftop, a touch snapping him out of the darkness. She reminds him of a night they were harassed by the police, where Akoni felt small and powerless. He admits he was terrified they would hurt her. Down in the streets, the Arcane handlers are on the hunt, their hearts with a pack of massive genetically modified hyenas, their eyes glowing with a feral and red hunger. One of the soldiers notes that these assets have been given Akoni scent and are well trained for this specific field engagement. We see a crowd nearby and they are not welcoming to this new development in their streets. Now, back to Akoni. Rainy urges him not to let his past define him or his negative emotion blind him. She points to the suffering city and tells him he can change the narrative, take a leap of faith and do something about it. At this point, the memory of Rainy is acting as a moral compass for Akoni. With a renewed sense of purpose, Akoni dives from the rooftop. He descends upon the hyenas, crushing one of the beasts as it was about to attack a helpless woman. He commands the crowd to find shelter as a mother cries out for her son. Akoni charges back into the fray, no longer a monster but a defender protecting the boy from harm. As the beasts launch, Akoni meets them with the same brutal efficiency he once used to serve the director, but now with a different fire in his eyes. He intercepts a lunging hyena mid-air. He's no longer just a killing machine, he's a shield between monsters and the innocent. Now, back at the Arcane base, we see the two scientists from Helios celebrating their progress on the battlesuit they've been working on. While they celebrate and attempt to take a selfie, they are completely unaware of the assailants lurking in the shadows. It's the doctor from Issue 2. She transforms and brutally mauls both scientists to death. As she transforms back to her human form, she is approached by Bolaji and two other Baltujins. Bolaji referred to her as an Obayifo, stating that she has finally shown herself. This confirms that she is a vampire and witch-like mythology creature. She replies that it's about time she stepped into the light. Bolaji agrees, though something feels up about his response. Then, with a surprise attack, Bolaji swiftly dispatches the two other Baltujins with ease. It is revealed that the two of them have been working together undercover, having infiltrated the Arcane in order to help Akoni. The doctor says they need to split up to find him, but before they can move, they are quickly surrounded by Arcane soldiers ready to detain them. They are not going down without a fight, obviously. We cut back to space, where the lion types from the end of Issue 2 are observing Akoni. One of the general remarks that they should bring him in, but another argues they need to study him further to be sure he's the one they're looking for. The general on the left remarks reference to someone in exile, saying he hopes that coward does not return for their sakes. The other leader shuts down the conversation, saying the subject is not to be raised again. Issue 3 ends as the two generals approach a leopard beast. They call him the Seeker. They tell him they are in need of more conscripts from Earth. The Seeker replies with a grin that he was already getting bored. So guys, that was the ending of Issue 3 of Amotekun. Things are really starting to escalate and Akoni is finally free from the Arcane's control. But now he's forced to confront the consequences of everything he's done, especially the tragic death of his half-brother. At the same time, new players are entering the story. Bolaji and the mysterious Lady Doctor appears to have their own secret plans, and somewhere above Earth, we see the strange lion-like warriors making their own plans in the shadows as well. And the next video we will be covering issues 4 and 5, which covers the available story arc so far. So if you've enjoyed this read-through video, make sure to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. That's going to be all for now, and see you in the next one.